No, you're from the Valley if. The Valley, so we would define the Valley as, what would you say, Mohawk, Ilion, Herkimer, Frankfort, Little Falls. That would be the Valley.
Correct.
So east of Utica. So the question was, you're from the Valley if ... And earlier we had you bought your Wranglers at the Herkimer Clothing Center. To this day, you still believe the best mixed sub on the planet was from Big Jim's, and it's something about the shredded lettuce, I believe. Somebody added you partied at the Palmer House, okay? And somebody's asking you about the Empire Diner. It used to be across the street by where Burger King is today, and now it is on the corner of whatever that is by Hummel's and Main Street.
Skip's question was, didn't Empire Diner get sold and then years later get brought back and put in the new location?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Anything's possible. I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it was moved. It just moved across the street. I think it has been sold over the years.
Yeah.
But that I remember it being a big story when it was moved across the street to its current location. The other thing was if you shopped and did your shopping at State Street Mill. That was like a department store there in the Valley. You know you're from the Valley if. 7360186. Andrew's taking them down. We're doing a post on it later on today. Okay, so Andrew, you had an issue when it came to your dog. It was a very bad, close call, right?
You are so lucky.
Very scary moment. Sunday, my girlfriend and I were moving into our new place, and our dog, stupid move on my part, I let her out to go to the bathroom without a leash, thinking that she would listen. And our dog was actually hit by a vehicle. And luckily, by a miracle of God, there was no broken bones or internal injuries, but it could have been a lot worse.
So really, the dog did get hit.
He got hit. It got pinned under the vehicle.
Wow.
Luckily, the car was going, not too fast, and she wasn't hit by the tires. And I think that's what ultimately
What kind of
saved her.
dog do you have?
We have a pit bull boxer mix.
Okay. All right, Alicia Culver and Dave Macrina have opened up a business called CNY Training and Daycare. And it's training, it's daycare, and also boarding, right? Guys, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Bill?
Everybody up there. So tell me about your business, and then we'll talk about Andrew's situation.
So our business, we opened July 18th. We do training, daycare, and boarding, like you mentioned. We opened to provide a community service. We saw a real need for it in the area. There wasn't really a lot of options for people to go, and a lot of people were actually going without.
Yeah.
So we really saw a need for it, and we decided to just give it a go.
The boarding is a big deal, especially if you want to go. If you have pets and you want to go on vacation, it's so difficult.
Sure is, and it can be a real hassle.
Yeah.
It can be.
All right, so Andrew's situation. What do you think?
Oh, I think what I'm saying is this could have been very useful to us, and I think it will be, because we thought that she was at a point where if we said, Jenga, come, or Jenga, stop, that she would automatically listen. But when a dog, especially as young as ours, gets something in their head, they may not listen to you.
They almost get that tunnel vision, and that recall is so important, because in cases like yours, when you need her to come and she doesn't come, she can get injured. So training is that safety net that ensures that you have trust and she bonds with you to trust and respect your commands.
Right. And I mean, we do our best. Her and I, Dallas has had dogs in the past, but we're not experts when it comes to training.
You're always thinking, though, that the training is all about making sure that the dog doesn't jump up on somebody, or the dog doesn't. But you never. It's also about really protecting the dog.
Oh, it's all about safety, and the training never stops. It's just like sending your kid to school. They don't go for 1 year; they go for their whole life. They go to college, or they take classes online. It never stops.
So what would you? So clearly, what he needed is he doesn't have control over that dog.
Unfortunately, and he's very, very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm counting my blessings still to this day.
Andrew, how old is the dog, and at what age do you think that the owner, the master, should have control of a dog in that type of a situation? Because your dog's young, right?
She's only over a year.
Oh, she's that old?
And so and the thing is we talked about this a little bit, Dave. One of the concerns is it too late? I mean, they say once a dog is past a certain age, it's then untrainable. Is that the case?
That actually is a common misconception, and Jenga is still a puppy, being
Right.
at only a year. You should start training at 8 weeks. Once that puppy comes into your home, is when you should start building that bond and starting with that foundation of basic obedience. It's so important, and it's easily overlooked.
But it is never too late.
Oh, that's good to know.
We've lost our dog, but we had a dog that we just could not control, and I guess that had we gone into a training and continued with it, like we came to your place and it was done on because we did the training thing, and it just didn't seem, the dog just didn't seem to, it did not seem to respond.
And the biggest part of training, we give you the tools, how you learn to train the dog,
Right.
and you have to do that at home. It's all about follow through. We work as a team. I work for you, we work for your dog, but we all work together to help your dog in the end.
And the other thing that, and people have different opinions, what is your opinion on this, is treating with a treat, training with a treat. And for us, the only way we could get the dog to do what we wanted is if we had a treat in our hand. Otherwise, that dog would not listen. But then it got to the point, like, if you wanted the dog to go down, this dog, we could only, at night, the dog had to sleep in a crate. And she liked that, it seemed, because she would go run into the crate. But to get her there, it was really easy. You just, every time she went, we gave her a treat. Is that wrong to do?
Treating is perfectly fine. Every dog responds different. Some dogs may respond, better to a treat than to a positive correction. It's all how you look at it. But, our packages, the way they're designed, are all individual because you never know. And you can't treat every dog if they're not going to respond. Yeah. Some are food driven. Some are reward driven. Some may need a correction. It may be that bad that your dog will not understand and respect what you're saying and run across the road. And you tell them to come and they don't. Then what? We try and prevent that as much as we can by giving you all the tools on the table and saying, this will do first. And if this doesn't work, then we'll go to this.
My wife will get me to take the garbage out. It's usually a dish of ice cream waiting for me, and I know immediately I got to get that garbage out.
The key to the liquor cabinet also.
That's very big. Yeah, that and the hot fudge. If I take the garbage out quickly, I get the hot fudge.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I have clearly been trained.
Just have to tell you, just because you brought that up, I just have the visual of you being the cat in the Flintstones opener that gets put out at the end of the night by your wife.
That's me. Very good point.
Hysterical.
Okay, so you talk about obedience, the training.
Yep.
But the difference between daycare and boarding, what is? Because I think this is a big deal. Some people won't even get a pet because they fear that they can't go anywhere. They end up being tied down.
Yep, that's true.
You don't want it to lock you down. You want to enjoy the perks of having a family pet, of having a family dog, but at the same time, though, you don't want it to basically, like you said, just lock you down and you can't do anything. You can't ever go see your friends. You can't ever go on a trip. Daycare is if you have errands to run during the day.
Yeah.
You don't want the dog to be locked in the kennel all day.
Or if you're working all day.
Or if you're working and you don't want to come home to a few a few puddles in the in the living room,
or them getting into the medicine cabinet or the Clorox,
or the brand new couch.
Yes,
exactly.
That too.
And as much as it is convenience and preventative, it's also safety because it could be the couch or it could be the cabin under the sink.
Right.
And so we will take care of your dog through the day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. 9 to 5 on Saturdays, and we're even open on Sundays if you have an errand to run.
I got to tell you, my parents are taking care of my brother's German Shepherd. It's a young German Shepherd, and they put him into the crate, and they left. And when they came home, this is an unbelievable story. The dog, they walked into the garage, and the dog was out of the crate. He had chewed, and it was one of those it's more like the spokes.
It's the wire
the ones
cages.
that folds up.
Yep.
It folds up. Okay, that got it chewed off the attachment where the floor is attached to the thing. Was able to slide and then somehow get out of it.
And that's very common.
Okay,
you tell me that's unbelievable, but it's not.
It gets better. The dog got out, and then the dog was nowhere to be found. They thought somebody broke in and took the dog. So they go upstairs, and the upstairs door is shut, and the dog had noticed it had been upstairs because everything was all over. This dog made a terrible mess. But the dog was still nowhere to be found. Somehow got into my father's computer room, his office, and shut the door in there. And the only thing that I would have loved to have they had a camera running to have seen how the dog pulled all this stuff off.
It's crazy.
Not only, but then to get the door open, how a shut door, how does a dog get that door open? But then to shut it again.
That's
to
a
shut
smart
it.
dog.
They're smarter than people give them credit for. I wish people realized that.
Or somebody's screwing with my parents and they let this dog in. That's what I'm thinking. All right, we're going to do a little offering of something. And first of all, you want to start by, could you help Andrew?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
thank you so much. I need all the help I can get.
We don't want this dog trained. We want you to train Andrew. If you could. Because, but think about maybe helping him. And then maybe we can help out a listener as well that has a dog that needs to be trained.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to that point, dog training it's just as much owner training as it is dog training.
Okay.
Being with us for an hour a day, that leaves many, many hours until your next session with us to actually follow through and reinforce the ideas that we and advice that we give you during that hour session.
So we're going to offer a free training session for somebody out there right now that has a dog that needs to be trained. And you'd call Andrew right now at 736-0186. And we'll do a little video on it. We'll post it up there and watch the progress of the dog being trained.
Perfect.
All right. So if you have a dog and you need training, give Andrew a call right now at 736-0186, and we will try to take care of you. What number do people call if they have a question for you guys?
315-794-2994.
That's for the daycare and the boarding as well.
Training and boarding.
Okay.
Works.
And the number you call if you'd like to have your dog trained, and it'll be on us, is 736-0186, and Andrew will take care of that. And as I said, we'll do a video along with it as well.
Perfect.
All right, guys. It's called CNY Canine Training and Daycare, and we'll see what happens with Andrew's dog.
All right.
Pretty excited.
Looking forward to it.
Great day on the way today. Plenty of sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful day. Lower 80s and full sunshine. So enjoy that. It is 7:59, 8 o'clock now at WIBX. Coming up next hour, we'll talk to Rob Mashel, Sheriff Rob Mashel, and also an incident down in the valley. It's WIBX, Utica, Rome. It's 8 o'clock.